Against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
Because you always use that active red line, defending. I think it's like.
Am I live? Of course I'm live. People deluded. I'm back again. First things first, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Very appreciative of the platform you lot have helped me amass. You know, it's our channel. I appreciate all the support. On that note, if you haven't subscribed, you haven't turned on your notifications, you're not aware of my YouTube playlist, and you haven't hit the like button, and you haven't been thinking about some comments to comment in the live chat or when this video is done, or both, obviously, in the comment section, make sure you get on that. You know, Merry Christmas Eve to everybody locked in. I hope you're doing well and safe. You know, I hope next year brings you bigger and better things. First and foremost, better health, and where your personal and private lives are concerned. Obviously, I wish you lot the best. Once again, one love for all the support, people. As you know, it's silly season. You know, we're 2 days away from the Premier League recommencing and things like that. But what I mean by silly season is transfer news. Some signings may be more realistic than others. As I always say, the dream is free, the hustle is sold separately. If nothing more, it's just talking points for us, people. So enough waffling, enough rambling. Let's see what the net and the journalists and all these people are saying. If I share my screen with you lot, we've been linked with Benatia. He's a former teammate of Mikel Arteta's, like Rafeal Leao, who's given an interview and said he watches Arsenal play, and he might at this moment his name might be in the title of the bid. You know, contracted until 2024. AC Milan are trying to get that sorted. If they're unable to do that, then the Benacias, I know he plays for Lazio, but Milinkovic-Savic, Rafeal Leao, and Madison, I believe, at Leicester. Anybody contracted until 2024, next summer or the summer of 2023 is probably the last summer if a club wants to get a decent fee, or, you know, they run the risk of what we're seeing with Telemans and Rabiot and a couple of players running down their deals and entering January where they can agree moves to foreign clubs for free. In the next hours, Fabrizio Romano shares update that could be bad news for Arsenal. I mean, to be honest, we should have brought back Benatia. I mean, there has primarily just been links out of Italy. I do think there's admiration on the player. I do think he must have come up on their scouting or certain metrics when we're looking at midfielders. He's a very good player, and he's blossomed since we let him go, really and truly. And he's living the dream at AC Milan. If we could, would love it to happen, people. Algerian media reports out of Italy were saying Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, also Man United, but allegedly Arsenal were the front runners. I haven't seen this article, but I'd imagine this means, Fabrizio means, there's more of a progress being made where the contract of Benatia is concerned. Well, you can see it there, people. So, yeah, as you can see it there, that's bad news for us, people. So, yeah, Arsenal and other suitors will likely be monitoring proceedings carefully, as it's just an opening proposal. Talks could go on for a while, so it's not as though a decision is imminent. So, yeah, man, but we was never going to get Donny in January, were we? So it is what it is. Last night, or this morning, you know, I'm sure you've all seen Joao Felix has once again been linked with Arsenal. It's more or less allegedly a shootout between Manchester United and Arsenal for him, in which I don't know where we're looking at that, because they're saying 8 million for a loan. Arsenal do have money. Kroenkes are rich, but do we have that sort of deep pocket like Manchester United? Obviously, at Manchester United, you've got Ten Hag. He's a trainer, coach. He's rebuilding, you know, and doing all of those things. There's a heavy Portuguese influence. You know, I know Ronaldo's return didn't quite work out, but he can surely have nothing but good things to say about Manchester United. For Arsenal, Joao Felix would be a lit signing. Can play up front. More want to see him in the 10 or off the left, so it doesn't necessarily disrupt Jesus when he's back. You know, he's got his best years in front of him. He would be playing in an attacking team under a manager where you see him players, young players, and actually if you include Granit Xhaka, who are, you know, Arsene Wenger, people used to look at him like a madman for saying Xhaka could be a box-to-box sort of advanced midfielder of sorts. Arteta's making that work, innit? So Felix could get shown a bit of love with Mikel Arteta and start doing what he needs to do. And it would be a lovely signing, because obviously it's what you do on the ball that gets you as a Premier League footballer. But Mikel Arteta, as much as it's about what we do on the ball, it's off the ball. And I just think he would fit all the defensive metrics, the pressing metrics to go with what he is, which is an attacking player. It'd be the perfect melody to play for Arsenal. But the dream is free, the hustle is sold separately. Joao Felix, 8 million transfer trigger has Arsenal and Manchester United eyeing try before you buy try before you buy Jan deal. Atletico Madrid allegedly are asking for a loan fee of half of the 16 million yearly cost plus the player's salary to interested parties. Atletico are prepared to let Joao Felix join an English Premier League club on loan next month as long as the financial fair play costs of the Portugal international's contract are covered in full by his new employers. And for me, well, Man United as well, surely you're not going to commit to that if there's not an option to buy / obligation and all of those sort of things, people. So it remains to be said. We've previously heard the CEO speak about how, you know, he's more or less said he wants to leave. I mean, it takes more than just a player's intention to want to leave, but we'll have to see. But once again, he said, the reasonable thing is to think that he's leaving, although I'd like him to continue, but that's just not the player's idea. He is the biggest bet the club has made because he cost a lot of money. I think he has the highest level in the world, but because of his relationship with the coach, the minutes played, his motivation, the reasonable thing to do is consider his departure if an offer comes. People, apparently, you know, Simeone has defended starting Felix in just 49 La Liga fixtures since he signed, saying it remains clear that every time he was good, he played. So maybe the manager says, I want more things to happen. And he said, I want Atletico to win. That's my sole focus. So if a manager rightly or wrongly doesn't believe you can help his team win or the strongest out from the outset, that probably tells you where the relationship is, because football is built on trust. I mean, it doesn't really say anything else. The headline isn't quite as good as that, people. But for what it's worth, people, you know, Ronaldo left Manchester United. Apparently, discussions with Arsenal are understood to be more advanced at present. What does that mean? Does that mean Arsenal are the front runners? Who knows? You know, is that a case of Man United are more likely to get him or showing more willingness and they're using Arsenal's name to kind of hurry Man United up? Again, you know, these are the games that are played in the media and in the footballing world with getting guys at clubs. So we'll have to see how that develops, people. Simeone is admitting no one at Atletico is untouchable, people. What specifically has he said, people? I hope we gave Joao some seniority, joy to show what he learned at the World Cup. He's important. I only focus on Athletic to win. Our CEO's words on Joao Felix's future. Whatever has to happen will happen. No one is untouchable. So that basically, he didn't say he wants him to leave. He didn't say he wants him to stay. He said no one's untouchable. Literally, whatever happens will happen, isn't it? So that basically is telling us that whether it's Arsenal, Manchester United, or elsewhere, if an agreement can be reached, his days at Atletico are numbered. Whether that's able to be a thing in January is a completely different entity. Apparently, a Liten Sport has spoken on it, people, as well, basically echoing what we've just read. Essentially, people, Joao Felix will be one of the main protagonists in the winter transfer window, and quickly his name circulated on the side of PSG. It must be said that the former star of Benfica has everything the ideal track for the Parisian club. Obviously, Mendes has a close relationship with Luis Campos. You've obviously seen a couple of Portuguese players arrive, and there's a number of Portuguese speakers, and he would fit PSG well with Mbappe and obviously him long-term, Messi and Neymar for the medium to short-term as well, because again, a big battle between Arsenal and Manchester United. It is very likely Joao Felix's next club will be in the Premier League. According to our information, the young Portuguese striker is indeed at the heart of a final match between Arsenal and Manchester United. The Red Devils are in a big battle over signing Joao Mendes. There's no doubt that the file has entered its final stretch, which again, it all depends where you read, people. Ben Jacobs has said, with Felix, I think there's a bit more in this from Arsenal's perspective. I do think Arteta really likes the player. Arsenal need to understand what Felix's desire is. There's a lot of interest, and also what price point is with Atletico. So again, it comes down to the P's in life, people, and I think that's so good. I wanted to say that twice. Again, Joao Felix, moving on, better yet, into Rafeal Leao. There is nothing in this, but apparently he's given an interview, people, and this will whet the appetite of some Arsenal fans. Experiences in a new championship, yes, in the future, but now I'm 100% focused on Milan. I'm in a top club and I'm under contract. He previously linked with Chelsea. I also like the city of Milan. I've seen a lot of games this year. I like Arsenal. I think they play very well. If you think we play well, get your agent to get the move sorted, innit, people? In relation to Mudryk, Arsenal now in talks with 100 million star, convinced by Emirates move, people. which we've heard this several times. Talks are open on this one, and that's why it's got to be seen as a likely deal in such an early moment. The avenues are open for conversations. The player is believed to be convinced of it, as it's a good opportunity, and now Arsenal need to negotiate, people. So draw whatever conclusions you want there. Carrying on with that, allegedly, Ben Jacobs said Arsenal have made their move on Mudryk in the sense that they are now in talks with both Shakhtar and Mudryk's reps. The talks with Mudryk's reps are easy because Mudryk wants Arsenal. The negotiations with Shakhtar are a whole lot harder. And there you have it, people. You know, it's not going to be cheap as well. Mudryk is a great talent. There have been no contacts with any club yet. If someone wants to buy him, they'll have to pay a lot of money. That is what their director of football said. Mudryk is our presence. So you want the guy, you're going to have to pay. Fabrizio Romano said the feeling of all the people in the industry is that Arsenal know how special this guy can become in the next years, which again, with the project we're doing, that needs to be a thing. We've been linked with Alex McAllister of Brighton, Alexis McAllister, better yet, of Brighton, World Cup winner. And that's one that's been in the background. Once again, we've seen this with Atletico Madrid. I saw last night that some Danilo stuff was floating around again. 1 minute he looked dead set to join us in the summer, then we're going for him in Jan. Then it seemed like we've moved away for whatever reason, people. And Palmeiras said they're more likely to sell him in Jan. They've got some money due to them after selling the young Hendrick, so maybe they're not as pressed to sell, really and truly. They expect an offer, people, of 137 million. I think you've got to use the conversion rates there, people. At the moment, the understanding is that an amount between 20 million or 25 million euros can end the trajectory of the young midfielder with the Palmeiras shirt. So courtesy of Google Translate, I think they're just saying that's where he's also got interest from Monaco, from Milan in Italy, and obviously Ajax. This will be Danilo's second window as a target for clubs in Europe. In the middle of the current season, Arsenal from England agreed to pay close to 25 million euros, but the board kept the commitment not to negotiate any starters before the end of 2022. This time, the club admits the need to generate more revenue from transfers of players. Even after Hendrick's sale to Real Madrid has been completed, the club has in its budget an estimate of around, I guess, Brazilian dollars of 100 million in negotiations for the year 2023. So Google Translate is not being helpful to us, and it's speaking about others. So we'll have to watch and monitor that one closely. PSG does not let go of Saliba. Again, that's something that isn't going away, mainly because Saliba is a good player with his best years in front of him, and there's obviously contract talks in the back burner with Arsenal. This report, Media Footer, said, according to our sources, the Parisian leaders, who he's good friends with Mbappe, grew up with him, continue to discuss with the players' reps and are clearly considering the Frenchman's arrival in 2023. So apparently William Saliba is very active track on PSG's side, so it wouldn't surprise me, people. So we'll have to see how that one develops, people. Saliba plans to return to France at some point. I imagine he does, really. But you've had to wait a long time to get a future at Arsenal. You're finally a mainstay. Why would you want to give up already? I mean, I couldn't begrudge you for wanting to play with Mbappe, Neymar, and all of them. And if they make Arsenal an offer we can't refuse for a player whose deal's running down, as good as he is, keep it moving, reinvest that. And, Benoit of Monaco could be going to Chelsea, steal that, or get one of these other French centre-backs, because Saliba's amazing. But he's not the only one. There's Canate. There's a bunch of them. Whatever in the water in France, go and find the next one, innit? Really and truly. So we'll have to monitor that one very closely, people. Big up Charlie Patino. Arsenal have now triggered the option to extend Charlie Patino's contract. It will be valid until June 2025. Negotiations with his agent will now take place in the next months to discuss a long-term deal, or better yet, a new long-term deal, which is great for us. We've been linked with this Dean Hussein guy, 17 years of age at Juventus, with Barcelona and Bayern are also monitoring him. But if you look at some reports, they say Juventus have reached some sort of an agreement over a new deal. So this is why names are probably being floated around, which you typically see, people. So we'll have to watch that one there and see what happens in that regard. What's this? Oh, we've already seen that. So yeah, that appears to be it, where Joao Felix, Mudryk, and the rest of them are concerned, people. So yeah, I'm going to love and leave you lot in that regards. As I said, smash the like button, check out the YouTube playlist, have a great festive holidays, make sure you're subscribing, appreciate all the comments, people, get them in, because it's an all-inclusive platform. Football is subjective, opinions are subjective, no one's right, no one's wrong, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably think, yeah, we should go for this guy, we shouldn't go for that guy, we should leave this, we should leave that. In an ideal world, for me, Arsenal bring in minimum 3 signings in January, which I don't know if that's possible. possible. As I said, dream world. I would like a striker. I think you could bring a striker to this club, even if everybody's fit. I would like a winger because we didn't get one in the summer. Well, obviously, with Gabriel Jesus' injury and with Mudryk's obviously pursuit, I think everyone's kind of forgot about central midfield at Arsenal, which is vital. And then at a push, if we could get a centre-back, specifically at an even bigger push, a left-sided centre-back, why not? Maybe a right-back. I know we've got Tomiyasu and Ben White, but, you know, Ben White, you're asking a lot on him to play every game. Tomiyasu's fitness is the only concern you could have. As much as I don't rate Cedric and think we should sanction him to go, we're going to need bodies in it, really and truly. And many reasons as to why we had a good season or an underwhelming season the way it ended last year. One of the reasons was what we did or didn't do in January in terms of incomings and outgoings. So we'll have to see, man. Any news that emerges, people, as you know, I'll be alert to it and get the videos and these things out for you lot. Don't forget, Arsenal versus West Ham is 8 p.m. on Boxing Day. On Monday, so I'll be live at 7 p.m. to do a watch along with you lot, people, and watch the game. And you know, after that, we're gonna try to take advantage of the festive period and watch all the games quite simply. So yeah, you lot stay safe, stay blessed. Make sure you're following on the socials, checking out the rest of the content. You lot, you know, stay in good spirits, stay in good health, stay pursuing your goals. Appreciative of everyone who's watched the vid. But for now, I'm out. God bless you all.
There's always just that active red line defending. I think it's like